J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through once again with your boy. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, the world we live in now, is so much going on that you really got to go live every day for a couple hours to cover everything that's going on. But I'm here. I'm going to try to do what I can. And, of course, try to add a little bit of humor to this wild and crazy world we've been living in and going through with all the stuff going on. Anyway, one of the first things that I'm going to get into today is the NBA and that they got busted with a gambling ring with the connections with the mob. But then it's two separate NBA cases, and it's a lot of this going on as far as a couple things with this that's interesting. Is it a distraction? Is it being blown out of proportion? Is it something that is more widespread? I'm going to talk about that. What else? I came across an article that was talking about people are more getting, I think it said 1 out of 5 people are getting UTIs from the meat that they eat. And I ain't talking about that D. They ain't just because they was eating that D and got that, you know what I'm saying, UT. Nah. It's from regular food, meat, which is crazy. And also makes me wonder about, because of the tariffs. I don't know how many people know, but Argentina, we're now about to start importing Argentina beef, which is not good, of course, for competition for our farmers and cattle farmers. But from what they have said, their beef is probably not as up to standards of what we would expect, so to speak. So I'm wondering about that. Plus, we sent Argentina $40 billion, this past week for help. And that's a country that has universal health care, something that we don't have. Our government is shut down. We sending them 40 billion. They losing money. Man, come on, man. They done took the soybean business. There's so much going on with that. And that ties into the government shutdown. How many people affected by the government shutdown? It's just going on, and the reasons why are deeper than you think. It's not just it happens. If some people read Project 2025, I'm not saying I read it all, but I did come across some of the things. Of course, it ain't nothing that you gonna be happy to read unless you are oh my goodness, I don't know what kind of person you are, but anyway, one of their plans is called RAGE, which is retire all government employees. Ain't that something? So whether they gotta lay you off, piss you off, buy you off, whatever the case, they want all government employees to get off, get out, and they got who gonna work the government? Well, it is a bunch of people that are willing and ready to do those jobs. Are they necessarily qualified? Qualifications can change, but they are loyal. And that might be the scariest part. Let me get to some of these comments, man. I see y'all in here. I appreciate you. What's good, Miss Crafty? My girl, I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm happy to see you, as always, first in the building. I know, right? I do need to drink some water. I'm up here. I ain't got no water. I got my water. I left it in my car. All I got is a little bit of speed right. I didn't want to crack it open, but I do need to liquidate my pipes over here. Thing with these pops, you drink a pop, it really don't give you the quench of your thirst that you really need, because your body got to break down all the damn sugars and stuff in it. But it was wet. Get it wet. What's good? I can barely read. What's that? K.I. Mitchell Brown? K. Mitchell Brown? Oh, Kim. Man, I need my glasses, mama. I said K.I. Mitchell Brown. Damn. Kim Mitchell Brown. What's good, mama? How you feeling today? Appreciate you coming through. As always, everybody is always welcome. Juan Marley, what's good, fam? You say, what up, though, fam? Who won the No Limit or Cash Money? I ain't see it. It happened, the versus No Limit and Cash Money? I ain't know it happened already. Kim said it's No Limit. All right, I'm behind in the comments, so I'm catching up with these comments. So here I'm coming to y'all. Alan Self, what's good, man? You say, big homie, where you at with the No Limit Cash Money versus? We need that reaction from you, pimp. Bam. When did it happen? This weekend? I had to do a couple shows this weekend, and so I missed some of that stuff. Bam, I'm at the look. Miss Crafty, you say you got the EBT, it will cut off on the first. Man, I got to get to that right there. That right there is a big conversation. That right there is 3 or 4 conversations. I'm going to have to get back to that. And then I'm going to get into my topics. But with the EBT cut off, the food stamps cut off, the Section 8 cut off, I'm going to tell you, man, that might be a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways. It's messed up, but maybe a blessing in disguise. I'm going to tell you why. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but what's good, B? How you doing? How you feeling, mama? Out there in H-Town? Who else? What's good? Who else? You say, I wonder what that retirement package will be. I know, right? Man, I'm telling you. It's wild out here in the field, man. I think I'm going to start this off talking about the government shutdown and the EBT and Section 8 and all of that. Or, you know what? I'll talk about the verses first with No Limit and Cash Money because I didn't see it. So I'm going to give my opinion. And then we'll see. It was last night. Okay. See, I was too wore out. Now, I can go and pull it up and we can watch some clips live together. And everybody that's watching on the replay, you just going to not see it because I'm going to have to block it out for YouTube copyright reasons. So we can look at some clips. Where do I need to go? The verses, right? Now, before I pull up the clips of that, I'm going to say No Limit had a catalog that was popping, but to be honest, they hits were spread out, and no artist really had 2 albums that really hit with No Limit other than Master P. Who else had 2 albums that you be like, oh man, they had this, they had that? I mean, yeah, Silk the Shocker and C Murder may have had more than 1 album. They had 2 albums or whatever. But was it like, stuff on each one that people would play in the verses and be like, oh yeah, that's the swamp name. That's a Master P song. Anyway, so I will say that No Limit was very powerful, but for a short window, really from like 97 to 99. In the 2000s, people wasn't really bumping No Limit like that. 97 to 99, ooh wee, and P was dropping albums, bang, bang, bang. He hit them hard. He hit them hard, boy. Before I even bought my first Master P, which was Ghetto Dope, and then because TRU, that was a classic, and that was what really started me. But I didn't buy it. I eventually went back and got it, but the double CD with the smoking green on it still too. But anyway, uh it was about over with by the time I was about to buy one, Ghetto Dope. So I'd say Master P was a flash. After Biggie and Pac died, it was a hunger for stuff. DMX came out and things and this and that. But P, he flooded the market, but overall his quality of music was not long standing. His, and Cash Money, because of Lil Wayne and Baby, Father Like Son, and they had all the stuff. Because Cash Money, they have a longer catalog. Lil Wayne actually is a better artist than anybody No Limit ever had. So I'm gonna go with Cash Money in my opinion. They beats are more modern as well. If you go to No Limit, they beats are not as modern now. So if you going on the verses, if you got them YNs watching, they gonna be like, man, get these old nick off there, man. Hey, get them old nick off it, man. He 50 years old, man. This is old rap, man. They probably listen to that like the Sugar Hill Gang got up rapping. We the Sugar Hill Gang. Hip hop. Hop. So yeah, Mystical probably was their best most talented artist. Mystical did have multiple albums, but he left No Limit though. First of all, he wasn't with No Limit, got with No Limit, then left No Limit. I really don't consider Mystical No Limit, to be honest. I forget Mystical was with No Limit all the time. That's like saying Snoop is No Limit. I think Snoop put out 2 or 3 albums with No Limit. All right. So search No Limit versus Cash Money. Here we go. No limit told ya. I thought I told ya. No limit told ya. I thought I told ya. Smoking on that doja. No limit soldier. Cash Money is an army, better than Navy. Cash Money is an army, better than Navy. You coming up here, man, it won't be gravy. Cash Money is an army, better than Navy. All right, I had to do a couple things. And I'm going to try to make this quick because I know it's Sunday. Some of y'all got to go to work in the morning. So let's see. Verse Cash Money. Cash Money is an army, better than Navy. Let's see. The full battle, the show only. Let's see which one. They got DJ F. Which hour 20 minutes. Hold on. Who got it condensed version? Rappers React. Cash Money, No Limit, one. Very easy. I mean, yeah, Master P, of course, man. I got more money than them. All right, dang. Where I'm supposed to go on this long ass video?
Side stage where they are. We are live right here, side stage where they are about to do this. No
limit soldier.
Some of these other sounds that are cousin.
Just a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers. Trust my pen is an infrared. Hollow tips be my lyrics, dipping venom when I say I'm tasting your head.
Hey, I told y'all that's the only song they gonna bump. No Limit Soldier. No Limit Soldier. I thought I told you. I thought I told you. She smoking that Doja. I know Limit Soldier. That's the thing with rappers. They don't know. They horrible at concerts. They just stand there in the background and bounce side to side. They go Manny Fresh. Uh-oh. Wobbity, wobbity, wobbity. I said wobbity, wobbity. These songs is kind of it's kind of making me not like me. It was good to see me X, but I got my Rolls Royce and that I do and all that hoes choice. You sound a little Diddy up in here. Sound a little Diddy Daddy up in here, Diddy-ish. Nah, Manny Fresh look like he done put on a couple pounds. All these dudes look like they 50 years old, man. Oh shoot. This damn mouse. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see what we got.
Don't be asking nigga questions about what I'm trying to do. Little mama, my shit together. I ain't trying to you. I don't think that nigga can do you better than I can do. You know, it's super job across the street by the third. Same nigga used to be running with Rusty and Kirby. And I'm playing from the door, you get a chance with it. But I keep up.
Hey, that got me ready to get in the car right now. Ooh, I like it like that. Move, working that. Move, mooking that. Man, mooking with it. Slow motion with it. Hey, man, Cash Money got better beats. I ain't gonna lie. Better hits. Juvie the Great. So at the end, do they declare a winner? Snoop did show up. I said that's like saying Snoop is no limit. Didn't I say that's like saying Snoop low limit? Because he had a couple albums. Look at Snoop ass there. Hey, man, they give me the check. I'm anywhere, homeboy. I'm there for Donald Trump DJing, you know what I'm saying? Whoever cut the check, that's where I'm at. That's all. You paying? I'm there. Yeah. What's good, Holmes? Snoop ass is there with no limit. So Snoop, no limit, death row. There's no limits when you on death row, Holmes. Straight up. Cause when you on death row, ain't no limit to it. You know what I mean? Until it's life. That's the only limit. Whole his life, you say ain't no official winner was declared. Snoop is no limit. I know, right? Well, I mean, like I said, he did a couple albums with it. I mean, I wouldn't say Snoop is no limit. I would claim Snoop is death row. The reason Snoop went to no limit is because Master P saved his ass from Suge and them. From Suge and them. I guess he always gonna appreciate that. You saved this little skinny ass, cuz I'm always gonna have no limit for you, man. Ain't no limits for the love I got for you, Holmes. No Limit killed Cash Money, ironically. I mean, Cash Money killed No Limit, you mean? And what's crazy is they both from New Orleans. And when Cash Money blew up, we really much nothing here, nothing ain't been no Limit ever since, really. Ain't nobody been bumping no Master P artist since then. Who? In the last 20 years, 25 years? So he kind of killed them. And it's crazy because they could have worked together. But egos probably, you know. Why, Marley, you say No Limit won to you? I mean, that's everybody's opinion. I mean, that's kind of more our era of age. So we would have more, you know, sentimental songs that we would relate to. But during that time, I still didn't like No Limit like that. I was either East Coast, West Coast, or Chicago, or the South, Atlanta, whatever, Outkast or whatever, before I'd have bumped Master P. You know, he was way down on the list of what I was going to bump. But, you know, it was cool. Yeah, Snoop, for those that don't know, did buy Death Row. But Death Row really is just the name. It doesn't own any of the major stuff it once did. It's that all the good stuff has been sold off. But he has the name, and if he wanted to do the right thing, he could sign artists to Death Row and redo it. But from my only limited amount of information that I've seen, is that he got clothes and stuff and marketing it as like a label and clothes and stuff to buy. So I don't know. Juan Marley, I'm gonna get these last couple comments and then I'm gonna move on to the next topic tonight, which is I'm gonna talk about the food stamps and everything getting cut off on November 1st. And is it a blessing in disguise or a horrible, horrible situation? Or could it be a little bit of both or a little bit of neither? Juan Marley, you say they stayed in the end of the 90s with the song list. Yeah, they did. But like I say, that was a 3-year period, 97 to 99. They was kicking ass, I ain't gonna lie. But they were flooding the market with songs music he already had made. That's how he was able to do it. And he made a lot of money off of that, but he didn't pour it back into new artists and things and keep expanding because the contracts he had and whatever, maybe he was set up to fail because they saw his contracts and how much money he had. They like, ain't no way in the world we gonna let him keep signing artists and blow up. Never know. Who else you say P went into TV and his son in the 2000s? Well, you can't hate him for that. Lil Romeo did get on the Disney and Nickelodeon and all of that and was trying to do some things. And, you know, I give him credit for trying, but we now can look back on what that looks like with Nickelodeon and Disney life. It probably was a mistake. But he tried to do what he could for his son. That's a good point. I give you credit on that. A good reminder to me. And, you know, who's to say who can do both or what? I don't like to say what somebody else can do with their time or their money. So that was a choice he made, him and his wife. So, you know, it is what it is. They did try to make Romeo an actor or a music star rapper. Neither one really worked. And I wonder what Romeo is doing now. Place to vent. I'm About It was my movie growing up. I used to watch it every day. I got I'm About It. It's right here. I got it right here in front of me on DVD, right there. I'm looking right at it. I'm About It. I got American Pimp right here. Michael Jordan IMAX. What else is over here? Super Dave. Tupac Resurrection with Death Row Uncut. It's like 10 DVDs right here, and then I got a bunch of them right over here. But yeah, about it. You about it? About it. That's what really blew him up. Back then, it was still rare to see a rapper in a movie, let alone their own movie that they made straight to video. Everybody got it, passed the tape around. That was like something everybody talked about by word of mouth. You seen about it? You ain't seen about it? Let me get you the tape. Pass the tape. Let me get a tape. You got a tape? Let me do the tape. About it. Ooh, grandma smoking in the car. So, that was the thing that really propelled Master P, is that Lord making his own video. Then he would have videos of Rolls Royce with hydraulics and gold rims. Like he was on a different level that drew a lot of attention at the time. I give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Miss Crafty, you say you was too young for No Limit? Cash Money came out when I was in middle school and I loved it. Crafty, you know I love you, girl. Why you be trying to make me feel old, girl? Cash Money came out in middle school. Shawty wanna be a thug in this month. Like middle school, Cash Money. Damn. Lil Wayne is old Wayne now, ain't he? Lil Wayne, Lil Weezy, that big road's old. Lil Wayne in his 40s, ain't he? Wow. Lil Wayne is in his 40s. All right, moving on. Wow, moving on. So, we talking about the government shutdown and what's happening with November 1st, food stamps shut off, and they're going to try to come for Section 8. They said what? If your kids are working age and not your kids working age, your kids are school age, and I was just pulling up two things at once. If your kids are school age and you don't have a disability, ain't nothing wrong with you. You got to take your butt to work. I remember I was telling this one female I knew, she had 3 kids, food stamps. She would sell her food stamps to get money on the side or a little weed money. She had Section 8. She ain't do nothing all day. And I would tell her, what you gonna do when your kids grow up? They gonna try to do this and that. Ain't nobody gonna do this and that. I don't need no man. I'm this and that. And let me tell you something. Part of the plan initially, and I'm surprised that this is happening in a way, but the part of the plan was, if you go back to the 60s, the Black community was like this. Strong community. That's how we was able to push forward and get things done, civil rights or forming different group, whatever the case. And so, to make it quick, I don't want to relitigate everything, but in order to break that power up, first you got to get the jobs out. And so that's why a lot of jobs went overseas. Then, they put in drugs in the community. People don't have a way to feed their families. They resort to selling drugs. Some people use drugs because they're depressed. They lost their job. They don't have this or that, whatever the case. That's a way to break up the family, by getting these people on drugs, locked up, out of the way, no income. Then if you need assistance, you got to have the man out of the house rule. So now it can't help the man and the woman. They'll only help the woman, which means that that actually hurts the woman, because how is she going to have help with the kids? And so to get a little bit of food and a little bit of help with the rent, you cannot have a man ever. And so then you can't make a certain amount of money or they'll cut it off. So it disincentivizes a person in that situation to get out of it, because two incomes is much better than one. Two people at least in the house is better than one. At least one can look after the kids for free, help out, do whatever. It's also stability and so many other things that two people can provide versus one. And so having that out, all of this, it then devalued, because you have generations of people growing up in this life, whether they grew up on the programs or not. Everybody now sees or knows somebody that grew up in a single parent home, so it doesn't seem like nothing. And then people that grow up with it and then have those programs, they don't feel any reason to meet someone and do the right thing. And then it becomes on both sides. No one wants to commit to a lot of things because it's too much going on. And so then what happens is they have like a false, partner or no partner. So if it's a man, then they devalued or they look for somebody else, or whatever the case, don't have anything, or they hit and run because they figured, well, if my mama did it on her own, so can you. Or, hey, you can get Section 8 or file for, food stamps or whatever. What you need me for? And so then when they take those things away, you got generations of people grow up these ways, one way or the other. They don't know how to work together. That's a problem. The good thing is this could bring people back together. I've been seeing on YouTube a lot of women, and on TikTok, saying that they value a man and they would like to be with a man. One of the problems is these apps and social media actually divide everybody, because everybody judge everybody by another standard. So you don't look this good, or your booty ain't this big, or you don't have a six pack, or you're not 6 foot tall, or you can't, do da 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 da. And so everybody is stuck looking for something that don't exist. And if you do find it, what make you think they ain't already doing something? They ain't just sitting there waiting. If they got all these great things, they probably already involved with something. So then if they do, they hitting it and leaving because they got so many options. That's why they say, 20% of men is getting 80% of the women. And they wondering why these men don't stick around, because all these men are getting so much options. Anyway, people don't connect. They don't, end up having a bond. People getting much older. And then what happens is the community is fractured. So the good thing is, because the only reason people that do have some of these kids, not the only reason, I won't say that, but a lot of times people do have kids still because people still like each other, but they don't value the sticking together part. And so, and that's, again, that's part of an attack too. But my point to wrap it all up is, now that this has been cut, it is going to be painful for people that are on it. Of course, I'm not trying to, say that's good. That's going to be bad. It's never good with people hungry. It's never good if people talking about, it's like, and I'm going to play some of these videos, some of these women talking about they going to go and steal some groceries, or all kind of other wild things what they gonna do. But the truth of the matter is, it's about time that people value each other again. Don't be talking about this dude ain't no scrub or this or that. But you sitting there struggling, can't put gas in the car, or you need all these help. Maybe he don't make 50,000 or 100,000, but neither do you. And you got a lot of help in problems and issues too, that if that person was making all of that and doing that, why would they want to get involved with a lot of that stuff? So a lot of time people don't think about it like that. Look at all this right here on the side. Women are experiencing dating fatigue. Why are women experiencing dating fatigue? I mean,
sometimes I want to date just to go out, but I immediately don't want to talk to that person the next day. So if you think,
so right there, that's a problem. And that right there will make men, and it has been making men kind of back off, because a lot of times women, and they out here saying this publicly, which is horrible. Maybe these women don't represent all women, but when women come about how much you gonna take them out to dinner or what they want to eat, that's expensive for men. What do men get? Men paying and doing this on a bunch of dates and first dates and paying money for what? And feeling used. Like I was seeing one video where this woman was saying like, why men ain't trying to talk to her, and these are good looking women, and she talking about one of her favorite hobbies or things to do is go on first dates, but then don't talk. But that's like a way to go to lunch or dinner a couple times a week at places that she like to go to for free. Wow. Like as men, I think men shouldn't even pay on the first date. Just like women don't put out on the first date, men shouldn't pay on the first date. It'd be, hey, what's the problem? We should be going somewhere to get to know each other anyway, where it's not a bunch of, distractions around. They don't have to be long. It could just be 1 hour. I mean, who say you got to spend all day together? If it happened, fine, that's great. If not, that's fine too. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but it's the first date. I ain't expecting much either. So, you ain't got to do much. I ain't expecting much either. Just meeting you. What's up?
any of these things are the reason that you're single, probably not that. It's probably something else about you.
Still very much so gay. I just am tired of dealing with women.
To be treated poorly by men to even gather the motivation to work on.
Exhausted. Women might not be for me.
Almost like dating mannequins.
These women don't like dating women. I mean, I guess it's hard dating. Whoever's asking for the date, I guess, is the pursuer. I guess. I don't know. Who else? You say we live in a society, media society, packed with complainers, scammers, and players. Man, you ain't saying nothing but a word right there. That ain't nothing but the truth. And what's crazy is people are happy and proud of that. It's people that was talking about how they were scamming on food stamps and what to say and this and that. They were saying this on TikTok. And then when they stuff got canceled and this and that, then they sitting there crying, talking about their stuff got canceled. How stupid are you? First of all, don't you know that's a crime? Like scamming the government and trying to that's a crime first and foremost. And anybody doing a crime, normally the first thing you do is you shut your way. What? That's number one. I thought number one is you shut your ass up. What is you? Oh man! And then all the other stuff is just crazy. I guess they get what they deserve. What they gonna say it? It's just stupid. B, what's good, mama? You say that's a trifling mentality. That sounds like a duck, a chicken who never had anything. First dates are not experiences. First dates are for vetting a potential partner. Man, thank you. I mean, for real. And it's not about well, I ain't gonna spend money or this or that. But the way these things are going now, it feel like somebody trying to like use you for a foodie call. Like for real, for real. Like that's really wild. And so, you know, anyway, a bird. What I said, a chicken. Hell, chicken is a bird that don't fly. Even worse, right? Hey, what's good, Rashonda? How you doing, mama? You changed your name a little bit over here. I ain't noticed with the numbers on it. Yeah, that's a bird brain right there, for real though. You ain't lying, B.
How some women keep picking the same kind of man.
They don't have to settle
That was Boom Fufu right there, was upset.
when everybody wants them.
Now, this dude, I don't know about him a little bit. He kind of, I think, a little upset with some of these ladies. And I mean, I get it, but he did say one thing on this video that was interesting. And I don't know if it's this video. I think it was another video I came across. But he was saying that women, it was a video. I have to show y'all this video. Hold on. While I look for it. Whoops. So while I look for this video, I'm going to talk and explain it. Because this is really, really wild to me. I got to go in my history, though. So it wasn't going to be much to look at. Anyway, we see this video I'm about to pull up. And he shows this video of a woman who's on TikTok talking about her husband, how great he is with the kids, a great provider, nothing negative about him, but that she ain't happy and she want to, you know, explore herself or something to that effect. And I mean, I don't understand what he's saying. She probably missing that 304 phase. And there's a lot of women out there that say they living their best life or whatever the case. I mean, if you got a husband and kids, he's doing all these things, you all happy. It's nothing to say negative. The only thing you want to do is go and live your own thing when there's a lot of people. I mean, I don't know, man. To each his own, but one of his points that he was saying is that when women are younger and they meet or be with more men, so to speak, that it's harder for them to want to settle down because they always have somebody else on their mind now or comparing it to somebody else. I don't know about that. It's interesting, but I think did you all hear about the nightclubs that there's a lot of them making women pay and the men get in free? They had a line full of women and all the men got in free. I just came across. I was like, what? But let's see, take her husband. Yeah, so all the women want to take her husband now. But you all let me know in the comments. What do you think? Here, I found the video. It took a second.
Earlier this year.
No. Oh, this is somebody. This is the dude right here. This dude crazy. All right. He be.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, I'm with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things.
Now, this is something I do agree with, is that this dude gonna comment that she said that she ain't told nobody this and they'd be shocked. Why are you putting this out here on the internet for everybody to see? And for him to be embarrassed, or your kids or anybody else to see it. Like, you could have talked to him first or something, but you went to TikTok first. Like, everybody is taking too much of their private information and business to public, and that's
Okay.
the wrong place.
Had a full breakdown.
This is a perfect example of a woman who was ungrateful. A man who's a hardworking guy, who gave her a good lifestyle, who's a great father, model citizen, and she just doesn't want him anymore. He's perfect. I mean, so many women would kill for a guy like this. And then she's talking about her husband, but she wants to get rid of him because she just feels like it. A classic example of don't marry women. Don't take a man, don't save them, because they don't appreciate you. They don't value your commitment.
I wouldn't take it that
I
far.
feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years.
This dude take it to the point of don't marry women. I wouldn't take it that far, but I would say be very careful. And, you know, of course, on both sides, be very careful. But a lot of people on social media are giving these things a bad name, I'll say. And I won't say they speak for everyone, because I'm sure it's dudes giving things a bad name on social media just as much as women. But a lot of times the problem with women doing this is it's always about something like feelings, which men don't really understand as well. Not that we don't have feelings, we do, but a lot of times it's hard for us to do something based off our feelings if it doesn't make sense, with, analytically. And so that's part of our problem, is that if we had a woman and everything was great and she was perfect and did everything we ever could ask for and more, we wouldn't say, you know what? I think I'm about to just leave. And we don't even have another woman yet. Like, if we was to do that, we already had the next woman in place, and I'm loving her more than this one. Even though she do all these things, I'm feeling her more, and that's why I'm leaving. I wouldn't just leave and don't have anything lined up, and it's just, I think I'm about to just leave, and I'll figure it out, and that wouldn't work. So, I don't know. Anyway, I don't really want to watch the rest of this dude. Y'all get the point. And she basically tries to justify her actions. And I guess to each his own. Who am I to say she ain't justified in leaving her husband? Maybe he ain't hitting it right, or maybe she just, she said she got married at a young age, at like 18 or 20 something, so she want to explore. The problem with this for women, a lot of women, not all women, is that as they get older, in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and they still got to work and do all this stuff and no man to help and nobody around for support, women ain't really built like that. It's going to be hard on women, and you by yourself and you doing it. And then as you get older, it ain't really as people chasing for you like they used to as you get older sometimes, unfortunately. So, who knows, man? This is not for everybody. I think a lot of these women on TikTok are giving women and dating a bad name, just like I think a lot of dudes is giving dating and marriage and stuff a bad name on social media. And I think these apps is making things more difficult. And I think in reality, people should just get back to in person, being around each other, and working together and appreciating each other type stuff more, and not like quantifying everybody into statistical fit in this box narrative, or you're this or you're that, or value this or don't do this or never do that, or da, 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 da. that's got to be a lot in your head. Like I never thought all that stuff to that point like that, you know. I mean, just going into life, meeting somebody and doing all of that, that's got to be a lot of work. So, I mean, it should be natural. I never met a person online and dated. So, I mean, I don't know, but I think we all need to probably get back to real life places, third places other than working home, places that we can meet, work together, appreciate each other. And I think that'd be a lot better than the long run, than everybody on their own, everybody strong or doing whatever. And I get tired even talking about that. So anyway, now on the flip side, I hate that they're cutting people off on November 1st for food stamps and all this stuff and putting these new rules in. That I think that's very cruel. If it was some type of plan to reduce this, being honest with it, you know, trying to do it in a fair way, they could maybe reduce it 25% or 20% or whatever every 3 months or every 6 months. And so instead of just cutting you off November 1st, you can have 25% less for the next 6 months or 3 months or whatever. And, you know, 3, 6 months after that, 25% less. So after a course of time, a year, 2 years, people are able to wean themselves off, find a job, build stuff up. Because with AI and the job markets and things overseas and tariffs and all of this, it's no way to get another job for all these people at once. There's no way for people to be able to supplement their income and things all at once. I mean, this about to make that cootie cat go on sale. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. They're about to hit the market at catch of the day prices. But nah, all jokes aside though, man, I think that's cruel to do all of that at once like that. And I think all of these things happening is part of a plan. To be honest with you, I see so much happening, and I'm like, this stuff scares me because one of the first books that opened my eyes to a lot of the stuff going on was Behold the Pale Horse. And a lot of that stuff is coming true, has came true. Just like they got somebody running around talking about they bringing peace to the Middle East, even though it's a false peace and different stuff. And they just had a peace deals just yesterday in Malaysia or something. And they trying to do all these peace things and do this and all this. Man, everybody got to go to church, y'all. We got to get right. I mean, these days they winding down straight up, and it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. And a lot of the stuff that was said would happen this is the only time that these things are able to be done. And boy. That's why I'm saying this is a blessing in disguise, because we need the family together. We need people to work together. We need a man and woman and child working together on the same page. And if this, because of this, I mean, that so be it. They've said that all of these hardships that are becoming is what's going to make people come together to ask the Lord for help to come back. It's gonna be so many prayers, so it's gonna be overwhelming, so much going on. So, man, like I say, that's the stuff that scared me. Not that that one book is all of it. It's not even, like I would say, the most correct or accurate on everything, but it is an eye opener, and it did open my eyes to a lot of stuff. And boy, we are we're getting down there. I'm telling you. Crafty, you said they are locking the cards even if you have money on it. What? I have to spend it all this week. What? I didn't know that. You know, that's scary right there, man. And for a few different reasons. Because do you know, let me get to this comment in a second, but do you know what will make this country collapse faster than anything? I mean, like super fast, in a couple of days fast. No food. And that goes for everywhere. Every country on earth, people are well fed right now for the most part. We have been spoiled and well fed and medicated and all kind of stuff. And once that stuff is cut off and we can't get it and people don't have it, OMG. It's like I say, this stuff scares me the most because not only are we about to go through some real tough times, and I never really wanted. I grew up in the time where we watched Vietnam movies and stuff, and although I played with GI Joes and things, I never wanted to, whack people, take people out. I never wanted to be in the military. I never wanted to get shot at. Plus, growing up with drive-bys and stuff, not that I was on the corners selling drugs and getting drive-bys, but I have been involved in some people, two different occasions actually, with people I was in a car and got shot at, and on foot, and friends, and we got shot at and chased at. And so getting shot at ain't fun. I don't know if people get the memo. I don't know why they think it's so fun and cool. Maybe because watching Platoon and Hamburger Hill and stuff, that wasn't glorified movies to me. It didn't look cool, And so I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do, and so the last thing I want to do is have to be defending my home and shooting people. And now I hate that I can't even run away. I'm in the mobile command center over here. I'm had to be going up and down the driveway on the ramp over here with my machine gun. But fighting for food, these things I never would have thought conversations would be in my lifetime. I thought that some of this stuff would happen. I'd had no idea this stuff could happen so fast with the surveillance and all of that. I showed y'all in my last video all those cameras with the solar panel on top of them. That's a mass surveillance network. I mean, this stuff happens so fast. It's wild, man. Wow. Yeah, it's insane, man. I mean, who else? You say a dude will be used to being single and go back to it at the drop of a hat. Ebony K. Williams was with a guy until C-19. He went to shelter with his grown kids. He didn't want Ebony to catch others. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, man. Another thing is that men are okay with being single easier than women. But in the end, if you got a bunch of people as individuals, it's easier to take them out. What if they decide to go house to house rounding people up and it's just one per house damn near? I mean, it would be a lot easier than if it was 4 or 5 in each house and you got to go down each house with 3 people, 4 people in each house, 3 people minimum in each house. You're going to need a lot. And then what if they all come outside at the same time? And it's, 10 houses with 3 people or more, that's 30 people run outside on you. Whereas if you go to them 10 houses and it's 1 in each, that's 10 people. and then you'll round them 10 people up real quick. Whereas if it was 3 in each, you got 30 running out on your ass. You need more strategy and planning. So it just makes it easier what they doing to us, It's wild. My man talking and grubbing right on time. It's about time to change up the subject because that's gonna get too scary. You say, what up? They showing Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier. Where's the pics of the mafiosos? So talking and grubbing, my man. And man, where you been? You gotta hit me up. We gotta stay in contact. You still doing your thing? I ain't seen some stuff, but I've been kind of busy anyway. Moving along, my bad. So, for those who are not familiar, the NBA, my favorite sport, basketball. I love to play basketball. Basketball, my favorite sport. I like the way it dribbled up and down the court. Anyway, basketball. So we got the FBI, Cash Patel, on here saying that the NBA had a gambling problem, a gambling ring. Why is it not pulling up? Okay, let me try. And so one of the things they did is they put out the names of NBA players, Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones, and they were saying that they had an investigation that they found where they were with some of the Gambino, well, I don't want to say which names because I may not got it right. Let me wait till I get it. But a couple of the mob families, they didn't show any of their pictures, but they put all their names, but they did say all of the NBA players' names and information. They said that they were involved with using Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups and Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier are still in the NBA. Chauncey Billups is a coach for the Portland Trail Blazers. He made over $100 million in the NBA, and he is in the NBA Hall of Fame. Okay. And Terry Rozier is a damn good player. He's still in the NBA. He's been bounced around a little bit the last few years. He played with the Miami Heat. They were allegedly tied in with the mob having card poker tables that were allegedly 3D scanner tables. So when you got your cards down on the table, they can read your cards. They also had another way where the cards were marked or something, and you could see through the cards, holographic or something. It was a lot. I can read it right here. But anyway, they were cheating their ass off. They allegedly were getting, and this is what's wild. I think they only got like $10 million over like 2 years or something, which he's making that a year as a coach. Why risk? Because you're going to have to split it with the mob and them. So what is his cut? $1 million? $2 million? For that amount of money, you're involved with the mob, and you could possibly get whacked or lose your career, all of these things, which he looked like he losing his career. Why do that? And yeah, players like to gamble, this and that, but this is taking it to another level, and allegedly the ones that did lose money didn't complain, but they got one man for like close to $2 million, and he complained his ass off and told the feds that something ain't right. Now, here's the deal. Why is Cash Patel and them bringing this out now when, one, everybody putting pressure on old Epi, and they ain't bringing that, so they trying to always bring out new stuff so that they can distract. Two, they not showing none of the mob bosses. They don't have them paraded in court. Because why? Because they white. But they got all the black folks getting paraded in front of it. And why? Because, the last few NBA champions refused to go to the White House when they won. They also, the NBA has been outspoken and said a lot of negative things about Trump. Coach Greg Popovich of the Spurs has called him all kind of names. Trump is very vindictive. He does not, you know, people was talking about Nixon had an enemies list. Trump has an enemies list. He does not play. Whether it was the NFL, whatever, anybody that did him wrong, he is coming for them. This is very bad. This shouldn't be the case. Don't get me wrong, especially from the president weaponizing things, parts of the government to go after people. But that is probably allegedly why a lot of this is happening. Now, could this have happened if they were not doing it? No, that is true. If you wasn't doing it, it don't matter if he mad about this or that. They couldn't have set you up. They couldn't have made you do it. So on that regard, I think that was very, very dumb. And how are you don't have no money? First of all, I will break it down. Basically, any money you see an NBA player or athlete get, cut it in half, 50%. Literally, cut it in half. Because, of course, they got to pay their agent in that 10%, and a manager probably another 10%. They got 30% minimum, sometimes 40% in taxes. It's called the jock tax, because they got to pay in each state they play, because they get paid per game, each game. So road games, they got to pay taxes in each state. So if you made 100 million, he probably took home 40 to 50 million. Still a lot of money, but who would want to give up half? Half, Eddie. But still, $40 million, even if he gave up 60%. $40 million, and you in gambling games with $1 million, with the mob, not your friends, not with Shaq, with the mob. First of all, I didn't know the mob, and they said 3 of the 4 crime families involved. I didn't even know the mob still was involved in getting down like that. But then again, I did, because they always say that they broke up the mob and Giuliani did it. No, you didn't, because there's still people in the family alive. It's still people that keep money going, money talk, and everything else a walk. And so how many times have we seen people controlling stuff from prison? So now, I'm not a person that follows the mob and keep up with true crime, but when you hear the mob is gone, this and that, I'd be like, I just never investigated, but I never would have really believed it. So anyway, let me get to a couple of these comments, then I'm gonna read this, Talking and Grubbing. You said Steve Kerr definitely went hard in the paint on Trump too. Yeah, man, and he remembered this stuff, man, which is really, come on, man. That's really kind of weak, to be honest with y'all, man. That you gonna go ahead and do. That's like, dude, oh my goodness. What's good, Steve? Thunder God. You say, what up, Jay? Rozier from my hometown. Me and his mom been good friends since first grade. Everybody know him, in total shock that he'd even be involved with this. Now his asshole father, a different story. That's probably who got him influenced, because Rozier, first of all, he hustled his way from Boston to get his own contract and be a, starter in Charlotte, and worked his way into playing and dropping 20 a game, even though they ain't never won nothing. But he worked his way into being a hooper. I like how Terry Rozier played. And here's another case of, I can't believe these guys would jeopardize this. What is the problem? Now, here's the other part of this. Damon Jones. So they tried to lump all this stuff together when there's, I think, 3 different things going on. So Damon Jones, I believe, was taking bets. Damon Jones used to play with the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron, but he became good friends with LeBron. Now he's retired. Of course, LeBron, of course, another thing is that it's a scandal. LeBron takes PEDs. That's another reason why he been playing so long and in the shape he in, and they trying to get him out the league because of this gambling, as well as the PEDs is possibly about to come out. And that's one of the reasons that he ain't started playing with the Lakers yet this year, even though he signed this last year contract. No other team gonna touch him, and he upset. He hoping the Lakers get off to a bad start so he can come back and hopefully make it look like he's still valuable. But allegedly. But Damon Jones would let them know whether LeBron was playing or not so that they can place different bets and things before everybody else knew, and they can get to where the line is low. Now, Shaq was talking on NBA Inside the NBA or whatever, and they asked him about it, and he said that when you in the NBA, they give you like a summit, a little, conference, and they tell you if anybody ever asks any friends or anybody, do you know who such and such is playing tonight or whatever, don't ever tell them anything. Say you don't know. So Shaq said they told him that when you first joined the NBA, you in those conferences and things, which basically all sports is money laundering. Okay. And that's one of the reasons I kind of stopped watching sports in a way. I don't really watch. I watch the highlights of the NBA. I mean, Wemby, OMG. But sports is just gambling, money laundering, man. Steal from broke people. It's like the lottery. It's just another way to steal from broke people, man. And it's rigged, in my opinion. All of it is rigged. The NFL, NBA, baseball, all of it is rigged. One way or another. Have you seen about the refs, the NBA ref, Tim Donaghy or whatever, or NFL? I mean, it's just so many things going on with this. It makes sports suck, man. I only like sports when I'm playing them, to be honest. It's really gotten to that point. I like 2K. I'm playing it, and the ref is neutral, hopefully. But yeah, man, they got a lot going on. And then what was the other thing they had? Anyway, this is wild with the NBA gambling. And let me get to this comment. You say Chauncey Billups was wearing a hoodie with Rich Paul's company name on it. Some say he was sending a message to LeBron and Rich. Yeah, it probably was. Yep. Let's see. Thunder God. What up, Jay Rozier? Oh, I read that already. All right. So this article, let me pull it up. And then it was saying that Sammy the Bull Gravano, he was saying his thoughts on what happened. And Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, they were alleged face cards, basically the ones to bring in the big fish, the ones that were losing all the money, basically. And Sammy said, obviously, the guys who had lost money but could afford it, they didn't bother them. But the real problem is the ones that lost money and couldn't pay back. Well, that's where the mob came in and roughed them up. And he say that's what makes everything worse. And could be another indictment coming back that people ain't heard of yet, because he said they'll go after him. They may threaten him, even hit him, or give him a beating or something like that. So, you go over there and beat up on some of these dudes. And, let me see this sweatshirt he wearing right here. What did it say? Something sports group. Clutch Sports Group. Ah, look at his face. Clutch Sports Group. Is he with Clutch? Is Billups signed the Clutch Sports Group? Oh, snap. That's wild. It sent shockwaves in the NBA amongst 4 of the 5 families in La Costa Nostra, that thing of ours. It said for years, these individuals allegedly hosted illegal poker games where they used sophisticated technology and enlisted current and former NBA players to cheat people out of millions of dollars. The complex scheme was so far-reaching that it included members from 4 of the organized crime families, and when people refused to pay because they were cheated, the defendants did what organized crime has always done. They used threats, intimidation, and violence. Victims were defrauded out of at least $7 million between 2019 and 2025. So in 6 years, $7 million. It's like $1 million a year. One victim alone lost 1.8 million. Billups is an idiot, man. Oh, man. I wouldn't have did it if I got all $7 million. I wouldn't have did it. These dudes could do so much, man, other than this. And, oh my goodness, I hope this ain't the case. It said Gravano, Sammy the Bull, you know, he was the underboss of John Gotti. That's who they talking about. That's who was saying this. But anyway, the NBA, I don't think this is going to hurt them, to be honest, as it probably should hurt them. But, you know, people today, who knows, man. One of the things that is interesting about this, before I move on right quick, is that this is another reason why I kind of don't like the NBA and the NFL, is because it's always something else going on why you don't see your favorite players play. And Hassan Whiteside got a good point in saying he blames Billups and his gambling for losing his job. And he say now he understand why he don't want to resign me. Talking about he playing too hard, doing good. So they bench him, don't give him playing time. They lose. He out the NBA. Like Hassan Whiteside should still be in the NBA right now. And where he at? He said he was putting up in 2019, 2020, 15.5 points, 13.5 rebounds, 2.9 blocks in 67 games. And when the year was over, they didn't want to re-sign him. That's wild. He said, now I understand why he didn't want to re-sign me to the Blazers when he became the coach. He said, I was averaging 18 points, 14 boards, 3 blocks, leading the league. Well, he bumped his stats up a little bit, but I get it. Whether this is true or not, I kind of picked up on people not getting the time they deserve or whatever reason, different coaches and stuff. And I just kind of got tired of that crap. That's why I'd rather play the video game and make who I want to play and do whatever need to be done, because it's so much trash go on and some of this stuff that it take a lot of the fun and the joy away from sports when I grew up with them. And now sports is so expensive. I don't know how people are going to be able to watch sports in person, you know. But anyway, let's move on to this next subject, which is about meat and the UTIs in meat, which is crazy because how many people realize they could be possibly having a UTI from the meat? It said nearly 1 in 5 UTI infections in a group of patients in Southern California were linked to E. coli from contaminated meat. And a 4-year study was conducted for this. It say The researchers say the problem could be occurring across the whole United States. They said they found 18% of more than 2,300 UTI infections in the study, and they were linked to E. coli strains found in meat samples from grocery stores in the same area. The meat most commonly found to test positive was turkey and chicken, followed by pork and beef. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize in America, which I'm going to look it up right now just to be sure. But it says that it is legal to have your chicken with salmonella or E. coli. I believe salmonella, but maybe even E. coli before you buy it. And that's why they say that you have to cook chicken a certain temperature and stuff, because damn near all chicken in the United States has salmonella or E. coli. Let me look this up right quick, because I don't like to give out fake news. So let's look this up. But I remember looking and reading this, and I was just like floored. Let's see. Let's go to AI mode. Is it? Let's see. Does chicken in the United States have was not illegal and that is why you have to cook poultry. Let's see. Does chicken in the United States have salmonella or E. coli? I heard it was not illegal, and that is why you have to cook poultry. Let's see what old AI says. It says in the United States, raw chicken. Hold on. Can y'all see this? Nope. Hold on. I had a feeling it probably wasn't showing. Let me go back. I'm going to show these receipts. All right. Is it working? It still don't want to show. Okay, there you go. In the United States, raw chicken often contains salmonella and Campylobacter. It says in the United States, raw chicken often contains salmonella and Campylobacter, but the presence of these bacteria does not make the product illegal to sell. This is why properly cooking poultry is essential for food safety. Y'all hear that? It is not illegal to sell. And in the United States, raw chicken often contains salmonella. And do you know that's not normal? Because when I had first came across this in other countries or other chicken, all chicken don't always contain salmonella or often. It says salmonella, the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, estimates that about 1 in every 25 packages of chicken at the grocery store is contaminated with salmonella. 1 in every 25. So every 25 times you eating chicken, one of them times you got it. And over the course of your life, how many times has somebody bought chicken from the grocery? Hundreds, thousands. So that means you eating this salmonella how many times? That's why you got to definitely wash your hands touching raw chicken. 1 in every 25 packages of chicken at the grocery store is contaminated with salmonella. While this is a significant source of foodborne illness, the U.S. Department of Agriculture does not currently define salmonella as an adulterant in most raw chicken products. Regulatory debate. There is ongoing debate over this policy. In April 2025, the USDA withdrew a proposed rule that would have banned the sale of poultry products with certain strains or levels of salmonella. They made them withdraw it this April. That's the Trump administration. It was a proposed rule. So Biden administration had a proposed rule that would have banned the sale of products with strains or levels of salmonella. And in April of this year, they took that back. They said, nope, sell them that sick chicken. They don't care. The blacks, the blacks eat so much chicken. They're immune. They're immune. I believe the blacks are immune. The whites, we get good chicken. We get the good chicken, but the blacks, they're immune. They love it anyway. Give them a slice of watermelon. It cures it all. What? It says E. coli. Certain dangerous toxin-producing strains of E. coli, such as 0157-87, are banned in raw ground beef. You definitely got to cook hamburgers and ground beef because that's mixed all in from different animals. It said the zero tolerance policy was implemented after major foodborne illness outbreaks. However, this ban does not apply to poultry. For chicken, other bacteria like salmonella and campylobacter are the primary concerns. Cooking is critical for poultry. Raw poultry is considered an inherently raw agricultural product, and it is assumed to have some level of bacterial contamination. Destruction by heat. The only way to eliminate harmful bacteria like salmonella and campylobacter is by cooking. You got to cook that chicken to 165 degrees. Ooh, Charlie. Don't eat no raw chicken, boy. What's good? What's good with you, AOV? All right, y'all. Let's see what else we got to get into. Government shutdown. I mean, we already know how that's going. What that's really about. They refusing to get some people up in there, and we already know why. I mean, we're in a bad situation. I think we already realized that. Ain't nothing else for me to continue to keep saying, man, because it get real depressing out here. And I mean, I get it. Meanwhile, let's go to some of these other videos. Have a laugh right quick before we go. I'm trying to load my Instagram. It's over here. There we go. There they go. There they go. Oh my goodness. It keeps saying something went wrong. Reload. Come on. Oh, Sally Nelly. All right. What we got going on up in here? This right here is wild. So this dude, oops, there we go. This dude tried to walk into the woman's bathroom. Now,
You don't do it, and if y'all kids softball you.
Hey, I'm leaving, so you'll have to work.
If you want to practice your transition, you don't do it, and if y'all kids softball you.
trying to. Now this dude, I'm over here pushing all the wrong damn buttons. This dude, I think this is fake. And I don't mean fake like AI, but I think it's a setup. And I think some of this stuff is out here to get people upset, to rage bait. And just be careful what you watch. Don't let stuff get your blood pressure upset and get you mad. Because who wouldn't get mad at seeing this? This makes no sense. Even if he was doing this and that's what he want, why would you? I don't care what he was doing. This dude need a shirt on with your belly out like that anyway. I mean, I wouldn't have my belly hanging out like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm a goofy, a prude. But I think people have lost respect for people's privacy in the sense. Like, why you don't do these things with at home when you want to be? I don't know. This is wild. Too many people are doing wild stuff. This dude right here, I'm so sick of this damn mouse. If this is real, I think this is also horrible. And too many people are doing too much online. This world of online. I'm trying to remember the name of the video or movie where everybody was like on the video all the time or whatever. Like, this is driving people crazy. I think so. I really do. I don't think this is built for everybody. Like, not that I'm this or that, but I think that you have to really be grounded and secure in who you are before you get online and start doing stuff, because people will have comments. People can say stuff, and if you ain't secure in who you are or whatever, it can really cut you down. Or people will come for you or do things, and if you don't know how to handle adversity, these things can break you down. And I'm not saying that I'm this or that or whatever, but I do think by me getting into this at a different time before it was the thing to do so much. And also I was older when I started doing this. I was what, 40, damn near 39. I don't know. So I wasn't that young. And then also for me, I didn't get into this for money. Never did. That's why you don't hear me always say like, subscribe, or I forget to do that all the time. Or you don't hear me doing ad reads and reading for this group or that group or whatever. I mean, whatever. I don't really do this for that. Anyway, this dude, he murked his wife on Facebook Live. And this is just like, really? I mean, this is wild.
On June 14, 2025, a young mother went live on Facebook with her husband. What followed will torment viewers and leave a dark mark on the world. Zaria Carr, a 27-year-old influencer, and her husband, Char Marcus, a Frenchman Carr,
Char Marcus,
a bulldog breeder, had built their lives online.
First of all, he got a full zebra print outfit on. He a goofy. And that's another thing. Like, women, y'all be with some goofies, man. Straight up, man. Y'all love a goofy. And here's the thing, man. I think women don't understand. The dude that's chasing you the hardest, calling you the most, that ain't who you be with. Them the desperate, the goofies. Them, you know what I'm saying? These dudes got issues. A dude that ain't on you like that, he's a more secure person, has things going on. He ain't sitting there sweating your ass and doing all. Then you think, oh, I don't like him. He ain't feeling me. Like, no, that's probably who you should pursue. He ain't sitting there sweating women and chasing you down and doing it. Like, that's somebody that's focused and trying to build stuff. When you get with these dudes, it's all up in yours all the time, and y'all's together all the time and inseparable. You think that's what you want? No, you don't. Nobody does. Nobody does. I wouldn't want to do everything with somebody all the time. I want you to have shit you like to do, just like I want to do things. And sometimes we can do things together. And hey, some things we may both share interest in and do together. But every damn thing I do or move I make, here come your ass or here come me with everything. Who wants that? Anyway, I think women, they have been told and sold a bag of lies, and they want certain things and then realize at a certain point, no, I don't. That's probably why that other woman was probably upset or want to leave her husband, because he don't probably put his foot down on her ass and let her know, and he probably chasing after her like a puppy dog, doing every damn thing. She probably sick of it. Not that you got to be mean or this or that, but do have your own things. You do your own things. Sometimes I got to do this and that. Could you come do this and that? No, but I need this and that. No, I can't. I'm doing this. Like, you do that and do whatever. I meet you here, this and that. Da, da, da. People need their space, whether they realize it or not. And yeah, she may be upset. He wouldn't even do this and that. But at the end, it's better than him holding your purse everywhere you go, whenever you want. Anyway, this dude is sick. Don't get me wrong. I ain't justifying what he did. This is wild.
It's a perfect couple, happy family photos, candid moments with their 2 children, and the kind of relationship that seemed unbreakable.
See, that picture right there, that seemed fake to me. Sitting there like he holding young Simba or something coming out.
But behind the scenes, their marriage was falling apart, and that night, everything came crashing.
Yeah, because it seems like it's made for Instagram.
Now, for nearly an hour, they aired their dirty laundry for all to see. They both accused each other of cheating, shouting who betrayed who first. But then it got darker. They each claimed the other gave him an incurable STD. As their argument escalated.
First of all, you can't argue and do that. Y'all both lose, first of all. One of the things I realized in a relationship when I was younger, especially when you in public or in front of people, is, and you definitely shouldn't even say it with your friends or whatever, is talk about that person and you still be with them. That makes you look like an idiot. So why y'all broke up or why you upset, you say they got STD, you say they this, you that, then y'all make up and you go back and be with them. What? You just said they trifling. You just said they got STD. You just said they don't wash they boo-boo, they booty hole. And now y'all back together. You made up with them? And that's either way, man or woman. Like, y'all are crazy. You just made up with that. You just told me all these things and now y'all got back together? Like, if you do that, it's over. It's over. When I get to a point, if that was the case, wasn't no social media, thankfully. That would have just caused more problems than ever. But when I did finally break up with this bigger situation, that wasn't what was happening, thankfully. Whew. Because this is wild out here, man.
The live stream took a terrifying turn. Marcus grabbed a knife. This is the type of bitch that gets beat, he said, the blade flashing in his hand. Zaria nervously laughed, asking, "What, you about to stab me?" Marcus' response was chilling. "If I get off this live, you ain't gonna make it out the door." Zaria's nervous laugh turned into disbelief. Damn, I gotta die about that? And then the live stream cut off. Minutes later, police arrived at their Georgia home. Inside, they found Zaria unconscious and severely wounded. She was later pronounced dead at the scene, stabbed by her husband. Marcus had fled, taking her black 2021 Dodge Challenger with him. A statewide alert was issued, and just after 11 p.m., deputies spotted the car. After
one of the problems with people today, and not that I'm so damn old, but I sometimes feel that way. What it is I think because I grew up in the city, you realize one of the things is that you don't tell people, and I grew up in the city outside, I wasn't inside all the time. Yeah, we all had our moments inside, outside. But one of the things I realized is you don't tell somebody what they gonna do or what they not gonna do, or if somebody got a weapon or a gun or something pulled out, you don't start laughing and saying what they gonna do or not gonna do or this or that. You kind of be calm and analyze what the hell going on. Oh, I gotta die. I gotta die because of that. Like, again, she is the victim. I'm not doing it, but I think that type of stuff, if somebody is not well in the head, don't say things that can trigger them to go off the deep end, And this dude is a straight sicko, and definitely this social media stuff, I think, is really driving some people off the deep end. And we got to be careful out here because everybody is just like showing so much of their life, whether good or bad. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't understand how people do it. This person here, I don't know if I showed y'all this before. I might have, but why is you washing up with animal piss? I mean, they making COVID. This is how COVID got started. The animal looking like, you get enough? Look at that puddle. How dry you gotta be to get in that? How dry do you have to be to stick your head up that ass? Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know how dry I would have to be? You talk about Ashley Larry, dude. I would be speaking baby powder out my breath. I would be so dry. What in the world? I can't believe that this. Oh my God. Ain't no way in the world I could stick my head up that. Look at this here. Because of the music, I'm going to turn that down. But this dude is allegedly 188 years old, found in India, demonstrating his flexibility. I mean, this dude, you talk about chicken skin. This dude bends up, his damn legs fits right into his rib cage. Look at that. And he just, oh my goodness. This dude, oh my goodness. Look at his chest. His face, his hair, just dreaded. This dude ain't no dang on 188 years old. 45. He just ain't been eating and sitting here doing it. Look at his bone. He is walking skeleton. He don't have enough protein to move and do nothing. Look at his feet swollen. Woo! He need an IV. You talk about a liquid IV in this month, man. This dude need a liquid IV. He need that damn animal to piss on his ass. Look at his skin. Oh my God. Lizard man, chicken skin having moon. His skin look like an old white lady in this one. What does he got up under his little cloth? Oh my goodness. He got a little wee hanging. Trying to cover it up. Nobody won't see that weenus. Old shrivel up weenus. Look at this woman here. Y'all gotta be careful out here, man. This woman tongue is just the devil. This woman tongue is the devil out here, y'all. And what they end up saying is that it's actually, they call it a geographical tongue, which, you know, I'm with them. I'm gonna stay local. Somebody said that's the HIV final boss. Lick it. Let me lick it before you stick it. Shit, you let her slob on Bob, man. It might feel good, man. It's ribbed for your pleasure. She already got a ribbed tongue right there for you, man. Lick all them bumps on your little wee-wee. For the ladies, I can go ahead and lick that plate with this dude. Look at that. He could put that whole little cootie cat lip up in there. Look at that. Bloop. Put it on the plate. He said, put that cootie cat on the plate for dinner. This dude really put a plate. He got a plate of food ready for you. He say, put that ass on this plate. I'm about to serve it up. He got a hole for the juices to drain and everything. Damn. How many of y'all let him lick that? Oh, my goodness. Do you know? Oh, my goodness. Do you know how much that? Look at his. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Do you know how much stretching and stuff has been done to your lip where he's pulling it to put that plate in like that? Look how it's turned to like rubber, leather. Oh, my goodness. And what made them do that? What tribe? And I've seen this before. One dude had a big ass dinner plate in his lip. I'm like, what the heck? So, you know, it's all kind of stuff happening. Nah, we done seen enough of her.
I still see all the motherfucking shit. I'm in
I can't believe this girl is famous and out here wearing this and doing this. Oh my goodness gracious, man. What in the world? How are we celebrating people that are not doing the right thing? Look at this.
Meals, and it's the same as I've always given her. The only thing that we know that might have been different is she quit eating the vinaigrette and ate honey mustard dressing.
She's you know, man, this goes to what I've said before about this stuff. And that goes to say that it's not the people that's so big that's the problem. It's the enablers. They are lost in the sauce. These people that are cooking. I wish I would cook a dozen eggs for your fat ass. And bacon and pancake. Who you talking to? Either you gonna feed yourself all that stuff or you ain't gonna never get that big. How do they do this? How do you cook all that? Why are you buying all of this? Why are you cooking all day long for these people? And she said what changed is she had switched from the vinaigrette to the honey mustard dressing. I don't know. Maybe that's what changed. Well, how much was it? This bitch ate a gallon of it. Who in their right mind thinks eating a gallon of anything at one time, one person, is cool? A gallon of milk. You can't drink that at one time. A gallon of honey mustard dressing. You can't eat that at one. A gallon of ketchup. A gallon of water. It's nothing a gallon of one person should have consume in one sitting. That's normal. Maybe if you was walking through the desert or playing basketball, football, and you drank a gallon of water while you was burning it off and running, maybe. You don't sit and drink a gallon of water with your dinner.
She eat a gallon of honey mustard? No, I gave her proportioned meals, and it's the same as I've always given her. The only thing that we know that might have been different is she quit eating the vinaigrette and ate honey mustard dressing. She eat a gallon of honey mustard? No.
Man, there you have it, folks. Get up out of here, man. The internet is wild, man. And you know what, man? With AI and everything coming, the internet is damn near dead. We're going to be looking back at this back when, I don't know how many of y'all OGs, but I remember when I first got on the internet in the 90s, you got mail and AOL and the chat rooms and all of that stuff. That's gone. And the internet of today is pretty much gone as well, with how you used to go on Instagram or Facebook and it'd be your friends feed that you would see. Most people don't see their friends like they used to. It's all kind of other stuff and topics that you see now versus what your friends are doing. And it's changed. And here's the big change with AI. They about to flood with all kind of stuff. CAA, Creative Artists Agency, talent agency. They doing digital scans of all of their actors and people. Well, not all, they want to, but they ain't all did it. But next thing you know, they're going to have them doing digital, hiring them, but they'll be working digital. They won't actually be there. They just hired their likeness or whatever. And it's just all kind of stuff happening where pretty soon the internet will be dead. All the likes, all the comments, everything happening is all fake. All of this is just robots. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all seen those cell phones that be lined up or they got them in the box and just tons of phones doing all the work for you as if it's 20 different people or 100 different people or whatever. I mean, it's wild out here. So they used to have a risk for fire. Now they done made it where they can take out everything they need from the phone and put it into a little box like a computer tower and then have them all routed together. And you got 20, 30 phones leaving comments, working, leaving views, leaving likes. I mean, you can't beat it. And you can keep buying it and adding them up. So anyway, before I get up out of here, what's good? Gypsy Queen, what's good? Gypsy Queen and PSTs is checking in. Pure sugar titties. Talking and grubbing in media, what's good? Talking and grubbing. I remember that story with the husband and wife. Yeah, that was wild, right? I'm behind on some of these comments. You say they must be in Gaza. Damn. Well, I missed that comment. Who? I ain't see where that was. If it was in Gaza, it's way worse what's being done over there. I mean, that is just horrible. And, you know, what happens and what's going on, man, like I said, it just makes me realize that the end is nigh and that we are going to live through the times of the end of how this order works. And if everything is going the way it seems, we'll be whoever survives through all this will be the generation that actually lives to see the return, which is very exciting, but also very scary because I know when they come back, coming with the sword, which also lets me think about this UFO stuff going on. 3-Eye Atlas, all this stuff going on, UFO. And so here's my thoughts on UFO before I get up out of here. And that is that, because they try to change it to UAP, but it says in the Bible that it will come, what, with chariots? chariots in the sky, chariot of fire, regardless of the details and things, it says a chariot, which in translation was a vehicle. Now, a chariot was, it said in the sky, though. It didn't say chariot from the ground. So he's saying basically a vehicle in the sky. Because if he would have said we'll be in jets or airplanes or in UFO or in a disc, I mean, I guess he could have said a disc, but I guess in their language at that time, saying a chariot in the sky, they understood a vehicle in the sky. Chariots were mostly used also for warfare and battle. I'm sure people used them for other things as well, but that was a weapon. So then you coming back with the chariot, maybe this has something to do with angels and things. Maybe they've made us all believe that this stuff has nothing to do with the other, or because they are gearing it up with military and things, that if they were to come, they are trying to say, wouldn't that unite humanity against an external force? Didn't Ronald Reagan say that? So maybe they trying to get us all united to go against them if they were to appear, which who could they possibly be? Maybe they are angels, maybe they not, maybe they are aliens, maybe it's demons, maybe it's interdimensional. There's so many things going on. The one thing I do know is something is happening. Something is happening. So you can't just bury your head in the sand and ignore it or say, but it's that. No, it actually is something happening. Now, I don't know what. Is it man-made? Is it from this? Is it that? I don't know, but it is something happening. And so with that happening, my thoughts is either it's all over. Either it's possibly some type of alien technology from somewhere, whether it's here or another dimension or whatever. Maybe. Is it maybe angels and things looking, and maybe we have technology or availability of phones so rapid with cameras on them that we can start to see and catch things that people would only talk about before but didn't have proof, because everybody didn't carry a camera everywhere, and if you did, the technology wasn't as good. Maybe. Could it be some things, because a lot of people say from CERN or whatever? Who knows? The interdimensional stuff, again, I don't know. I definitely don't want to support going to war with it, whatever it may be. And and I don't know. A lot of times, though, I do think, why don't somebody shoot at something when it is there? I saw some stuff where it'll be sitting there and things, and I wonder why a person doesn't shoot at it, but I don't know. Anyway, maybe that wouldn't work. Maybe it would. They did show a video of a missile getting shot at it and it bounced off, so, and kept going. So who knows what's going on really? But I think, again, based off of what I read and seen from that first book, I mean, amongst many others since, as well as the Bible, I think we need to get ourselves together, because there's some people working to make some things happen that, woo-wee, it don't look good. And so much corruption and things happening that it makes you think, if you do so much corruption and things and you're not worried about it and it's in your face, what does that tell you? You ain't worried about leaving. You ain't worried about getting caught. And so with that, I mean, like he said, he don't plan on leaving, and it looked like he ain't. I mean, you see what's going on with the ballroom. A lot of people are focusing on how he tore down that east wing of the White House, but a lot of people don't realize in the east wing of the White House, under it is a nuclear bomb shelter that's supposed to be classified, but from what we are hearing, he wants to update, remodel, whatever the case. I think it was installed during the Obama administration or remodeled or whatever the case. But he wants to renovate, redo, whatever the case. And this goes back to why are all of these elites building and renovating bunkers? What is it that they know or are planning or socially engineering that we don't? Well, what really happens is when financial, systems collapse, and it's happened whether it's been Great Britain, Rome, wherever the case, and the value of their money goes down, because a lot of people don't realize that the United States dollar is no longer tied to oil in Saudi Arabia. The petrodollar has ended, and that's what's been keeping us afloat, the petrodollar, because if anybody wanted to buy oil in the world, they had to use dollars. Now Saudi Arabia is taking currency from other places, and basically we don't make stuff anymore. The only way we've been holding a lot of this stuff together without making stuff anymore like we once did is through military might and having bases everywhere. But by not making things, and China makes all this stuff, and now they have a military that they can possibly say will protect you or do things. That's one reason gold is going up, is because China has bought a few $1 trillion worth of gold, so that people will feel more secure in using their currency, because their currency is backed by gold, whereas our currency is backed by nothing. And a lot of people are talking about, well, gold going up and the dollar, inflation. Inflation is going to go to the point you're going to need $1,000 to buy a loaf of bread, because once people stop using the dollar and all the dollars in the world start flooding back, we'll have more dollars than we need. It won't be worth anything. Yeah, man, we got to get prepared, y'all. Definitely. Gypsy Queen, you say exactly. That's why all these wealthy people have bought so many underground bunkers. I know, right? I mean, it's about to be a wrap out here, y'all. I need to go on to Panama. But see, that's the thing. Even places like Panama, the military can show up. They did. The U.S. military did in the 80s. I remember it. They actually went to Panama. And so a lot of these places, Trump already want the canal. There's really no place in the world that you can go to safe, other than if you decide to go to China or something. But then again, you're an outsider, and you're a very obvious outsider. And so, yeah, man, the world is real small all of a sudden. You better try to go in the Amazon rainforest and hope you can stick it out like they has for the last few thousand years, and hope you don't have to be bothered. But that's one reason they sending keep going in there messing with them. So ain't no telling what's going on in this world, man. Straight up. You say stagflation, hey man, that's the truth right there. And they raising all the prices on everything and food. And well, once the price of fuel goes up, that affect everything, because the trucks got to get gas, and price of gas go up. They pass it on to whoever's using their trucking service to get the stuff to the places, because every single thing you see in the store had to get there from a truck. And so once the trucks raise the prices, then they gonna pass it on to consumers. Take a little time. Then of course you raise that. I mean, you tag that along with the tariff prices being up. You have 2, 3, 4 things causing prices to go up on so many items. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming through. I know it's a smaller crowd when I'm normally talking this type of stuff. I get it, but we got a couple of our shows that we normally talk about coming back up, and I ain't been able to catch a few shows that's been coming out recently. Been so busy, But I see some that Ed Gein show on Netflix. That first episode was kind of wild, man. Really, really wild, man. You know, I think a lot of people can be a weirdo or a psycho or whatever because of nurturing, how they're raised, more so than in their DNA. And that's the thing, what they try to do with cloning and things, or they think they can clone somebody or whatever. Even if you clone a person, they won't be the same person because they're not raised the same experiences. They may have the same body. That's it. You know, but if they don't exercise or have the same drive or whatever, then, you know, it's not the same. But this Ed Gein, who was a serial killer, they got a new show on Netflix about him. I think it was #1 or something like that, at least when I watched it. Anyway, one of the early scenes, and this is in the 40s. In the 40s, he was into erotic asphyxiation, which that is one of the weirdest things for me. I think in the Black community, we don't really do a lot of weird sex stuff like that. But basically, it showed this dude with like a belt attached to the top of a door, and then it was hanging and it was tied around his neck, and he was like leaning forward, like choking himself out while beating his meat. I've never in my life thought of these things. I'm gonna get this belt and choke myself out and do it. I know it's the thing, choking and women like this and that. By yourself, getting a belt, hanging yourself, choking, and beating your meat. Wow. And here's the kicker. He was wearing his mama's brassiere, and she busts open the door while he's doing this, and he falls on the floor, and she like, take off my brassiere, take off my bra. And then after it's all over, she mad or whatever, tell him to take it off. He stands in front of her butt naked while she's chastising him. This man is grown, at least damn near 30, he looked like to me. 20s at least. Why would you have this grown adult standing butt ass naked in front of you, questioning him and talking to him and doing this? This person's sick. They're sick. That his mother ruined him, you know, and overbearing parents need to be put in their place. You know, he was scared. You cannot let that happen. You can't let people run you over, and they try to make you feel bad as a parent or this or that. They are people just like you. Everybody has rights. You're no longer a child. You no longer need the directions of which way to cross the street or how do I talk to somebody and things. The parenting part is over. It's now adults conversations. It's no longer parenting. I'm no longer a child. I'm no longer a minor. I no longer need your help for these things. And if I do need help as an adult, you come and ask for the help. You don't sit there at somebody's door or sit there and make somebody tell you what the hell they doing and tell you and report to you. These people are crazy, sick. And if they don't listen time and time again, you have to put them in their place. Straight up. Anyway, place to vent. You say John Wayne Gacy's on Peacock. I'm gonna check that out. I got Peacock. Miss Crafty, you say I've been watching Orphan Black on Netflix. This is exactly what you said about cloning. Oh shoot, you know I'm about to watch that. Orphan Black. I'm about to put that on. Alex Murdaugh's story is on Hulu. I was watching some of that. No, I didn't. I heard about it. I want to watch it. Alex Murdaugh. I did come across that, but I didn't see the whole thing. but I didn't see. I came across a clip or something about that, something, but I want to see that. Wasn't he? What he? Refresh my memory about him for a second. I got too much going on, but I think he was a. Was he the cop? No, he wasn't the cop. What did he do? That name, I just came across that though, Alex Murdaugh. I'm trying to remember what the hell he did. These people out here, which that's not also good necessarily. These shows are interesting, and I love a documentary, but glorifying all these sickos and stuff, I think only makes more sickos. But again, what the hell do I know, right? Let me get up out of here, y'all. I want to hear about Alex Murdaugh. Let me Google it right quick. Because I remember hearing this. Former prominent South Carolina attorney convicted in 23 murder of his wife and younger son, Paul. His case gained national attention. The family long history, powerful legal dynasty, and the multitude of crimes that were revealed during the investigation. He called 911 reporters, found his wife and son shot to death near the dog kennels on their family estate. A grand jury indicted Alex for the murders of Maggie and Paul. After a 6-week trial, a jury found Murdaugh guilty of 2 counts of murder. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences. In late 23, Murdaugh also pled guilty to dozens of financial crimes, including stealing millions of dollars from his law firm and clients, for which he received an additional 40 years in prison. Another 40, 2 life sentences plus 40. August 2024, the South Carolina Supreme Court agreed to hear Murdaugh's appeal for a new trial based on allegations of jury tampering by the clerk of court during his murder trial. His saga is marked by a series of other suspicious events. Let's see, that have come to light. 2019 boat crash. Paul Murdaugh was involved in a fatal boating accident that killed a 19-year-old Mallory Beach. He was facing charges for boating under the influence at the time of his death. It says in 2018, death of Gloria Satterfield, the Murdaugh family's longtime housekeeper. She died after a trip and fall incident at the family home. It was later revealed that Murdaugh had stolen nearly $4.3 million in insurance settlement funds meant for her family. Damn. 2021 attempted suicide plot. And September 21, Murdaugh arranged. Damn, this is 3 years later. Arranged for a former client to shoot him in an assisted suicide attempt so his surviving son could collect a life insurance payout. The plot failed. Murdaugh suffered only a minor injury. This dude, oh, that's what I remember. They were saying that he just kept going. That's what it was. They said no matter what he did, he kept going, doing more, thought he'd get away with it. That's what it was that I came across. That's what it was. And now I was reading that or hearing that, and I was just like, damn. And they were like, the audacity. He just kept going. And while reading that, I was just thinking, damn, you again doing this? You try to get him to shoot you, and you, damn, man, your ass is greedy. But that's what greed to do, man. That's why it's one of them 7 deadly sins. You know? So that's why they got social media trying to play into people what? Envy and jealousy and lust and vanity, all of that stuff. That's one of the worst things you can do. All right, y'all. My damn throat's sore, so I'm about to call it a night, but I appreciate everybody for coming through. I need to chop this up into shorter clips. That's one thing I ain't been doing these last few months, and has been making some of these videos long, where some of y'all I know love the long stuff, but a lot of people want to get right to the point of some of these topics. So we'll see. I'm going to try to work on it, maybe get into it tonight. I'm still working on these apps. I'm damn near complete, but this last steps is just so frustrating. But we're going to make it. We're going to get to it. With that being said, I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. Deuces. Y'all be safe. Thanks for coming through. I'm out.